G'day YouTube. In this video I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how to create your own custom worksheet function in Excel using a simple example straight from Microsoft's documentation. At the end of the video I'll share an example of a function as well that is a better example of what is possible with worksheet functions. If you have code for a worksheet function and you just need to know where to paste it and how to use it, then I'll demonstrate that now. I'm starting with a table that I've copied from the Microsoft website. This is the example from Microsoft, where they have given an example worksheet function to calculate a discount. In this example, the discount applies if the quantity is greater than 100, then a 10% discount is applied. So we'll copy that code, and I'll open up the Visual Basic Editor through the Developer tab. So inside the Visual Basic Editor, I will insert a new module. In the Properties window, I can rename that module, and I can paste that code and click Save. Now back in Excel, I can use that formula, which needs the quantity and the price, and that calculates it. In this example, this is pretty easily achieved without Visual Basic, and I've done a quick demonstration of the Excel formula that you can use to achieve the same outcome. So I want to move on to more of a real-world example. Table on the left, I have a list of sentences. A table on the right, I have a list of keywords, and I want to count how many times each keyword appears in each sentence. Typically, this is something that's harder to do with formulas. It's more tedious and becomes especially difficult if you have long lists of words to look up. So I would like to create a new worksheet function called Count Keywords that has two parameters, the first being the sentence and the second being the list of keywords that I want to check if they exist in that sentence, and then for that function to return a count. So we'll jump back into the VBA editor and create the new function to match the formula that we just typed into the spreadsheet. The function will have two parameters, the first being the sentence, which is a single cell. I'll define that as a range data type, and the second parameter being the list of cells that contain the keywords. Even though that's multiple cells, I'll still define that as a range data type, and I'll also define the data type for the function as an integer. That will be the output. It will just be a number with no decimal places. So we'll declare one variable called range that we'll use inside the loop that we create. The loop that I'm creating here is very simple. We have range keywords, which refers to the column of keywords in the table in our spreadsheet. And we want to loop through this list of keywords, one keyword at a time, and then test if that keyword exists inside the parameter range sentence, which is referring back to our sentence on our spreadsheet. So I'm building that expression and putting it into an if statement. If the expression returns true, then I will increment the output of the function by 1. So now the function is completed. I'll flip back to the spreadsheet, jump into the formula and click enter. And that's it, it's working. So as the last part of this example, we can take a look at how this code is working using the debug tool. So I'll switch over to the VBA editor. I'll select a line in the code and click F9 to add a breakpoint. And I'll also add some watch variables. Then I'll switch back to Excel and re-trigger the formula to run. So immediately it hits the breakpoint and we can see the watch expressions. The current keyword is cat. The current sentence contains the word cat, and the expression that we've written evaluates to true, so it contains the words cat. If we run the code, we'll see that count keywords is increased by 1 to reflect this. If I continue to run the code, it will check the next keyword for the same sentence, which is dog, and that evaluates to false. And I can keep running by clicking F5. So now it's chair, park, table, and eventually now we're going to move on to the next row. So that's it. Just a really simple example for this video, but still I think this example is something that's much simpler and quicker to implement than the equivalent Excel formulas would be for this type of problem.